everybody, welcome back to the Talent Managers podcast.
Welcome, I can't believe we're on episode 4 already.
I know, we almost didn't have time to film this today, or record this today.
Yeah, I accidentally slept in until like 2 p.m.
But here we are.
Yeah, no, it's been such a busy week for us. We haven't been able to record on our usual day because we've been in London.
We've been in London from Wednesday to Friday. Today's Sunday, so you'll hear this tomorrow, but we literally have been recovering since we got back on Friday.
Yeah, it has been non-stop, especially for me.
Yeah.
You got a nap on the first day.
Yeah, literally like a couple hours.
Yeah,
I managed to sleep.
I didn't get back to my hotel until an hour before the event.
So for context, our flight was at 7 a.m, so we were at the airport basically about 5 a.m.
Waking up at 4.
Yeah, it was quite
So up from 4 a.m. until
about 3 a.m.
3 a.m.
4 a.m.
Yeah. So absolutely non-stop, but we're back now in Edinburgh. We had 2 events. Well, I had 2 events. You didn't make the second one because it was...
I didn't feel good at all.
But yeah, we've been down in London for influencer events, so we thought that this episode we'd make about influencer events and specifically things that you've always wanted to know about influencer events, as well as our influencer encounters. And my goodness, are they juicy.
Yeah, I'm excited to share them all. So if we kind of take you through the event that we went to on Wednesday night, which was the Ekin Su OhPolly launch event.
Yeah, that was a crazy event. I mean, I feel like when you think of event, that's like a big event because it's a big name celebrity almost with a big name brand.
Yeah.
So it's kind of as big as it can really get.
Yeah.
So it's a good one to talk about.
Talk about it for sure.
There was literally paparazzi outside when we walked up. Was there paparazzi? Yeah. I was hilarious. We were walking up to the entrance and you could just hear all the paparazzi scuttle and be like, oh shoot, is this someone relevant?
That's what
and then it's like, nah, never mind.
Who the fuck are those guys?
Yeah. There was 400 people there.
Yeah.
It was insane and everybody was a somebody.
Yeah. Met some, well, for me, like, Emmy's met quite a lot of these people in the past, but I met people like Saffron Barker, which for me, I have literally watched her since I was like 13 years old. So I was fangirling hard, and Anna as well.
I just can't believe I had a reunion with Anna and Byron.
Yeah.
Did you see me scream when they walked in? Were you there? I just very loudly, I didn't realise how loud it was. I was just like, oh my fucking god. And they looked over to be like, what the fuck? Who is that bitch? And then their faces dropped. They were like, oh my god, Emmy, what the fuck are you doing here? Like, got up and ran towards each other, hugs and everything. Very surprising. I was quite surprised by the reaction. I forget that I had friends.
You know, me and Sophie went back, and watched your old LA vlogs with them.
Oh god.
You look so young.
Really? I feel like I look completely different.
You can still tell it's you. You just look young.
I know, but I feel like I was a lot skinnier back then.
No, but it's not, you just looked younger.
Yeah.
So everyone looks smaller when they're younger.
Yeah. I was quite young.
What age were you then? Like 18, 19?
Just turned 18, 19, yeah.
It's always nice to go to these events and there's everyone there, and there's people that you've maybe met like once before.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like a nice little reunion, and there was a lot of like girls from Scotland there, from the influencer kind of scene in Scotland, which was nice for everyone to kind of be together. Yeah, I mean, overall I had such a good time. The gin was so nice, except from this one drink that Emmy got at the end.
Towards the end of the night, I don't even know what happened. I had ordered like 5 drinks for everyone, and it was like 4 gin and lemonades and 1 gin and tonic. And everyone got their drinks and I was left with the last one, and I was like, there is no way that this is a gin and lemonade. And then everyone tried it and was like, nope, that is pure gasoline. That is straight alcohol. I had like blood orange gin mixed with normal gin with like a dash of tonic. I just feel like, I don't know what happened, but like there was multiple different alcohols in my drink. I could not drink it.
The gin was so nice though, and I'm not a big drinker. It was Whitley Neal.
The raspberry gin was
that was so nice.
Good.
I will be purchasing, which isn't common for me, so I must have enjoyed it.
Yeah, you were drinking. You're out of your sobriety now.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being sober, but I was like, who is this new Eva 2.0?
Newfound confidence.
Yeah.
To say the least, yeah.
But you looked like you were having a ball, which was great. Made me very happy.
Oh, that's nice. I think with these events, right, something I would say is you really have to, like, make the effort to talk to people.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's a lot of times where, like, especially at the start of events, like, people will just kind of be standing there and...
It's just a bit awkward for everyone to begin with.
Yeah. But, like, once everybody kind of loosens up a bit.
Yeah, so it's like liquid courage is always a great thing at the events, but it's also... It's not needed. You just need to sort of tell yourself, like, get it together. And
the thing is, as well, is I feel like when you go to these things, like, barely anybody actually knows who each other is unless you're, like, a Love Islander. So, you know, for all anyone knows, like, you could literally have 100k or you could have 10k.
Yeah.
Or you could have
1k.
1k. So
because there's
really...
also, like, industry people there.
Yeah.
The event people and, like, the staff. There was OhPolly staff running the event, obviously. So it's like, it's quite funny how people can treat others at those kind of events, which we'll get into. Some people have very inflated egos because they think they're the shit at these events. But in reality, like, everyone who is there is someone.
Yeah. There's a reason they're there.
There's a reason that they're there.
Yeah.
You can't just, like, walk into these events. They're not open to the public. It's invite only. But it's quite interesting to see how other people treat each other at these type of things.
We were having this conversation, like, before we started recording, and there's specific people, to be very specific, like, people who are on Love Island this year, who are actually really genuinely lovely and are friendly to everyone that they meet.
Oh, yeah. Like, treat you as if you're their best friend.
Yeah. And then there's this complete opposite of people that do have egos that are very inflated.
Way too high.
The thing is, like, we will get further into this, but I can kind of understand that there's some people who probably would get sick of constantly having people coming up to them. You know, they've been out of Love Island, what, like 3 months or 2 months? 2 months. And people are coming up to them, like, literally every second of the day.
I know, but also that is what you signed up for.
That's
like,
true.
You know going into that's what you're coming out with. You can't have over 1 million followers on Instagram. Just come off the biggest TV show of the year. Be in the news and media every week and not, you know, deal with people coming up to you. And if you can't handle that, don't fucking leave your house. Sorry,
I know. It is what they sign up for ultimately.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that they have to, like, deal with abuse and stuff that comes out, but that's not the type of situations we're talking about. We're talking about, like, an event that they've chosen to go to, and they're meeting other people who work in the same industry that they now do, and to be completely honest, they're burning bridges and building a bad reputation for themselves without even realising it.
Should we give some... Not that they'll be listening to this, but they might be. Should we give some shout outs to some in particular people who are lovely?
Yeah.
So we love
Billy Ran
and Coco.
And Coco. I love Billy. I told this to his face. I hated him on the show. He comes off just like a prick, but he's actually probably one of the nicest people I've ever met. Like, in terms of event situations, I've seen him just going up to everyone and anyone, introducing himself as if people don't know who he is. And he treats everyone like they're his mate. He actually genuinely cares to have a conversation with you. And I love people like that. We need more people like that in the industry. Coco's the same.
Yeah. And I didn't speak to Tasha, but she's gorgeous in person.
She is stunning. No, she was at the event just, like, dancing in the corner, smiling, just living her best life. I was like, yes, like, the energy that she was radiating, I was like, I want to be more like Tasha.
Yeah. I love, like, her little kind of, like, fringe thing.
Yeah, she suits it so much.
You know who else was nice? That Natalia.
Yeah, Natalia.
She was there, but I didn't see her for very long.
I didn't see her at all.
I saw her, like, once. But she was really nice when we met her at that We Are festival. They were all right. There was a few that weren't as nice. Yeah. But, I mean... It's expected, isn't it? It is expected.
Yeah, but...
Don't meet your idols, everybody.
Yeah, no, I mean, to be fair, everyone pretty much has a resting bitch face. Yeah. So you can't really judge anyone or anything unless you've actually properly had a full-on interaction with them. Yeah. So, my own experiences I've based off of my actual experiences and interaction with them. And there's only one person... Actually, there's two people that I generally just do not like and get bad vibes from, which I'll go into later.
Do you want to go on to the questions?
Yeah, sorry, we've just had a little interruption from the doggies coming through. But I think, yeah, we'll just go into some questions about things you've always wanted to know about influencer events. So the first one is, do more well-known influencers talk to the smaller influencers? And yeah, they do. This ties sort of into what I was saying earlier. Like, everyone at these events is a somebody, whether it's an influencer you know, a TV star, a celebrity, or an industry person. So everyone does talk to everybody. And you can have bad experiences with smaller or larger influencers. It's not just specific. It's not that cliquey. Obviously, you hang around with the people that you know and you're friends with because you don't really know anyone. But from my personal experience, everyone's really quite warm and like you can go up and say hi to anyone.
Yeah, for sure. I think, like we were saying, everyone who's at these events is a somebody. Everyone sort of has that, like, oh, who am I speaking to right now? As in, like, everyone kind of knows that they're speaking to someone who could be known of some sort. They might just not know them.
Yeah. The second one is, how do small creators get invited to big events? I feel like this is something that everyone really wants to know because, like I said before, these events aren't open to the public.
Yeah.
And if you have absolutely no idea how influence events work, it is something you get invited to. So whether that's from a marketing agency, like a third party event organizer, or the brand directly, you do get an invite and you can go along as either an invitee or a plus one.
Yeah. I feel like the reason that I feel like we get invited to these things is because of our connections in the industry, would you say? And also because we manage
talent. Yeah. It's sort of all about who you know, because you don't have to wait to get an invite for events, but you do. Like,
yeah.
I don't know how to explain it, but it's like...
But there was a lot of people there who were, like, OhPolly student ambassadors.
Oh,
or
really?
Like, yeah, so that's what me and Sophie worked out. And there was a couple who had followed me after that I hadn't actually even met. I'm not actually sure how they found my Instagram.
Yeah.
There was a couple people who followed me afterwards that had been at the event, and in their bio it was, like, OhPolly student ambassador. They had, like, 2,000, 3,000 followers.
Yeah.
So I think but their content was quite good. So I think it's to do with the relationships that you build with the brands. You really just need to.
Because like we went to the Pretty Little Thing We Are festival event like a couple months back,
which I loved, by the way. That was a fun weekend.
That was a fun event.
It was
full
so
weekend.
Warm, so sunny.
Yeah, really sunny. But that was just through gifting relationships that I had with PLT. Like I work with them on a monthly basis. And my contact, Chloe, offered me an invite to it. But then there's other events that I get invited to as an agent or like for networking stuff. Like there's an agency in Edinburgh's 15th birthday coming up.
15 years.
Yeah, 15 years they've been going. And I think it's only for networking and like other people in the industry. It's not an influencer event. So there's so many different types of events. There's also events like the Scottish Influencer of the Year Awards. You can buy tickets for that event. And I think that you only really get invited if you are a nominee or like a part of the event. So there's different types of events. But if you have some sort of presence on social media and a connection to the brand, you could get an invite. But it's also like I started out getting invited to events and then other people were seeing that I was at events, so then I started getting more. Yeah. So like in terms of Edinburgh, if you get invited to one PR Edinburgh event, it kind of puts you on the map for other agencies and other brands to see you, and then you start getting invited to a lot more local things.
Yeah, I think the thing is as well, like, it's the same with just campaigns in general. You'd be surprised how difficult influencer marketing people, how difficult they find it to find people to invite or find people to be involved in campaigns, because, you know, there's a lot of influencers. They don't all fit the niche, or they don't all actually create really good content.
The amount of influencers like previously that I've been looking to invite to events when I'm running event campaigns is if they just put like London or UK on their profile, but they're not actually from there, because they think, oh, I'm from Aberdeen or I'm from Glasgow, like nothing happens here, I'll just say that I'm in the UK or London in general. You're missing out on a whole bunch of Glasgow events or like country related events because no one can find you or figure out where you're based.
Yeah, definitely.
So, like, if you look at, like, hashtags for, like, Edinburgh bloggers or Glasgow bloggers, 90% of the people who post regularly with those tags are the people that you see getting invited to the influencer events in those areas.
Yeah, exactly. Just make yourself known. And also, like, some people might find this a bit, like, waspy, but, like, follow. If you can figure out who the events people are, the social media assistants.
Yeah, put yourself on the map.
Yeah.
Like, LinkedIn, oh my god. LinkedIn is such an underrated tool. I was saying this
really need
to my Coast and Karen Millen girl. I was just down at the showrooms in London, and she was saying how much she loves LinkedIn and uses it. And I'm like, you're going to get a LinkedIn follow from me, a request in the next day. And it's so true because, like, there are so many people that I follow on Instagram that I also am friends with on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And it sort of helps in the industry bridge the gap between, like, just following someone and, like, making yourself known that you're in that industry.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're an influencer trying to get into influencing, make a LinkedIn. Like,
we need new headshots.
We do need new headshots. But it's like, everyone loves LinkedIn, and if there's a name that you see on your LinkedIn or someone that you're friends with, if you then go and follow them on Instagram, it's less likely that they're going to be like, who is following me? They're going to be like, oh, that's that creator that I'm friends with on LinkedIn.
Yeah. I mean, I actually do go on LinkedIn, like, at least a couple times a week, but I feel like I don't focus on mine an awful lot.
Yeah,
I really need to.
There was quite a few people that I saw at the OhPolly event that I knew from LinkedIn that I was like, oh, that's that person and that's that person and they do this and that from LinkedIn, or they're like industry people.
Yeah.
I've spotted more of the industry people than, like, big influencers.
Yeah, it's definitely such a good tool. I got a message last week just to my LinkedIn, basically. They must have just searched, like, freelance social media assistant, because it doesn't actually say the company yet. I've literally not updated it. And I got an email or a message asking me about doing, like, freelance work for a company. I need to tell you about that. I don't think I did because I didn't see you properly. You will get these inbound messages. You'd be surprised how many inbound messages you'd actually get if you do that. And yeah, sorry for going off on a ramble, but in general, make use of LinkedIn.
Yeah, like, the entire industry, I say this all the time, it's all networking, it's all people, it's, like, who you know.
It is.
And, like, it's not like you need to know anyone to get started in the industry.
No.
You just need to sort of make yourself active and present in that space. And, like, on the industry side, LinkedIn is an easy way to do that. It is all networking. It's all who you know. And if you're working with brands and you've got a personal brand connection, like, you're the one doing your emails, build that relationship with them. Add them on LinkedIn. Follow them on Instagram. Like, work on building up that relationship, because then if you have a working relationship with them already, they're more likely to invite you or think of you for events and stuff.
Yeah, I think that's what happened with PLT. It really did, because, you did speak to her a lot.
Yeah, if you want to get invited, it's all networking.
Yeah.
And your relationship with the brand.
I honestly just think when it really comes down to it, make yourself known on socials. I think that's the bottom line. Like, as in, like, create a personal brand.
Yeah.
Really.
For sure.
Which we need to do more of.
Yes.
We say this every episode. Like, I have so much content sitting there.
I don't.
I didn't properly vlog London. I vlogged about half of it. And when I hit a wall, it was Thursday afternoon. So this is another thing that I did when I was in London. Me and Sophie went to visit the House of Sunny showroom. Emmy's rolling her eyes because I might have accidentally missed something that she set up for me.
Yeah, she got into deep shit with me, but it's okay because she bought me a Starbucks coffee and an almond croissant, so we're friends again now.
So on the Thursday, I literally was I was all over the place, and Sophie had got this message from House of Sunny being like, hi, come in. Obviously, I was just like, yeah, we'll do that, right? She was like, I really, like, we have to do this. I was like, okay, we will. And honestly, it was so worth it. Like, even if you're not an influencer, you can go to the House of Sunny shop. It's a shop. It's
It's like a pop-up.
Bethnal Green. I don't even think it's a pop-up. It's been there for ages. It's in kind of like a studio. But it's on the House of Sunny Instagram. It was really good. You didn't get to keep any clothes, so obviously it's, like, really expensive. But we got to take pictures and stuff. I've got pictures to post from the showroom, and they gave us, like, Chili's water bottles.
Oh,
with this, like, House Sunny, like, that dress, the green dress, like, that they had, that print. But I got a coffee cup and Sophie got a water bottle. Yeah, it was quite cute. What's the next question?
Are you asked to take content in exchange for attending? Is there a minimum number of posts? I think it depends on the event, because unless they're paying you, you don't really have to do anything. Like the OhPolly event, we didn't have to do any posts.
No.
It was just like a come along to this launch event and celebrate the night with us.
I think there's always sort of a guarantee. Well, you know what, I was thinking this. There's sometimes a guarantee that you're going to post at these events anyway.
Yeah.
However, there was some influencers that were there that did not post on socials that they were there. But I think this is because of like contracts they probably have.
Yeah.
So they wanted to just like come and be there, but they didn't post. So yeah, no, I think if you're like a big, I suppose that's then like free advertising for.
Yes, it is. So it's like, if a brand says to you, if it's a big name brand, we want you to come to this event and we need X amount of posts and we want you to do a grid post and story sets, they have to pay you for that.
Yeah.
So they don't say that. But like local events they've been like, come in and like, we'd love to give you like a free meal, or like, we're going to have an open bar. You can come bring a +1. We just ask if you could maybe share on your stories or like tag us in a post.
Yeah.
But it's an exchange. It's not like you have to do this. The only time where there's ever been like a minimum number of posts or like specific X, Y, and Z to come to events is when there is paid attendance, which is a thing. Like a few of my girls were in London at an event and they got paid attendance. So you get paid a flat fee to post, like, for example, 3 story frames on the night using the specific tags and hashtags. And the only reason that it can be that specific is because they're paying you and you have a contract. So you can go to events for free, you can get paid to go to events, you can go to events and get free food, drink, clothing, experiences in exchange for social posts. It's all dependent on you, the brand, and the arrangement.
Yeah, I think often at these events they try and do things, like they put things in place for that people will want to take.
Oh yeah, like they'll make it
of.
beautiful, have like photo walls and areas, like ring lights and photographers, videographers, things there that you are naturally going to want to be like, oh, I want to post on my story, this is really cool, or I want to get a picture here. I mean, at these events it's always a great opportunity to get more content for your own socials. But yeah, unless there's a contract, you don't have to post. Yeah,
you could literally just go and not post anything. But then again, it's like all about building relationships. So if you've not already got these contracts in place where you can't like post with competitors, or if you're already like a big enough influencer, then you wouldn't really have to like benefit off going to an event like that. But you know, if you're a kind of smaller
and like
creator, then
starting out, definitely think about the brand. I think that's all we're going to talk about for influencer events. I think now we should go into some influencer encounters, because we did ask on socials for you guys to send in your worst influencer encounters or like funny influencer experiences, whether it's just like meeting someone at an event or walking down the street. We got some good ones sent in. Some people have just sent names but without saying experiences. Someone said, when you meet someone trying to join your agency and they blank you because you're not skinny. To be fair, like, I do kind of feel that a lot. Like, there are certain type of girls at events that will look at you up and down if they don't already know who you are.
Yeah.
That do have egos and think that they're above you. That is a no thank you from me. Someone said, an influencer telling you, you're less bubbly than I thought in person, then making a group chat without me in it.
Oh, okay.
That's a bit
strange.
So someone said, my pal went up to a Glasgow blogger at a festival, went up to a Glasgow blogger to compliment her and say she loves her Insta. She was very sour-faced and was just like, thanks, but in a rude way. My pal was really shocked. But then she met one of her friends a few minutes later and she was fucking lovely.
Some people have off days, but I mean, it's always disappointing if you meet someone that you're like, oh, I genuinely really like your Instagram. You know?
I feel like if like I was in that situation, I'd almost be overly nice, worried that they're going to have a bad... Like, you want them to have a good experience meeting you.
Yeah.
So whenever that kind of thing happens, especially if it's at a festival, it's like, are they drinking? Are they drunk? Are they off their face? Like...
Yeah.
Are people just awkward and have anxiety?
I know, that would be...
But, like, that's always, never meet your idols type of thing.
I know.
you might be disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
Someone sent in a username of an influencer said that she got her friend to film her dancing, but there was no music playing. And that was just a very awkward encounter, just watching this influencer fake dancing at this event.
Yeah.
And recording it to post on social media, even though there was no music playing.
I wonder if they put a music.
Yeah, they would have had
top.
to. It would be for footage to be this is such a fun thing that's happening, and in reality, everyone's sitting there like, nothing's happening. What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's just a bit awkward.
Yeah, that is awkward.
Tried to say hi to an influencer in Glasgow and they completely blanked me.
What the hell?
I wonder if that's on the street, because if it's just try to say hi to an influencer in Glasgow, it's is it as at an event or just on the street?
Yeah.
Because if I don't wear my glasses at events, which I never do because of makeup, but I can't see people, and I always post on my stories I feel like a horrible person because I have to squint to see, and it's either I'm just staring at people without realizing because I can't see them, or I just completely accidentally blank people I know because I cannot see them.
Yeah.
The last one I'm going to read from my Instagram is, a whole ass agency blacklisted me because I got spiked at one of their bars.
Well, that's not great.
That's not great.
No, the agency probably should have, if they've realised that that's happened to you,
they should have reach out or say
so
something.
I take it that she's posted something and then they've seen it and they've been
blacklisted because she posted a negative experience at one of their events. But if it's an agency and not a brand, it's not their fault. It's out of their control.
Yeah.
That's a bit...
That's very strange.
Yeah, that's a bit of a rough one.
Mm-hmm. One of my favourite influencers wasn't as nice as I thought she'd be in real life. I gave her the benefit of the doubt as she's only human and we all have days off, but I was telling my friends and her friends had the exact same experience. I think that's her friend.
The one that the first person
about
said
the festival.
At the festival
I think that's her friend. It is.
I mean, this kind of ties into my personal worst influencer experience, but I feel people have bad days. It also depends on the scenario that you meet them in. But if you've met them more than once, sorry, I've given you the benefit of the doubt. But if you're a bitch to me the second time I meet you, you're just a bitch.
Yeah.
So my personal worst influencer experience, it was with a Love Islander, but not a recent Love Islander, a very old Love Islander.
We're talking 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, many seasons ago.
Yeah.
To be fair, she has a large Instagram following, but her engagement just doesn't match up. She only gets a couple hundred likes on her posts and stuff.
It's so long ago that she was on Love Island.
So obviously she's got a lot of bots and just dead followers and stuff, which is fine. But she acts as if she's better than everyone else, which pisses me off.
It's horrible.
The first time I met her, it was a mighty experience. Oh my goodness. I went up to her and was chatting to her in an event because, as you do, we were in an area where it was only industry people and invited guests.
Invitees, yeah.
It wasn't I was a fangirl going up to her.
No.
And I just said hi, introduced myself. We were actually listening to her song while we were getting ready in the morning, me and Eva. No. We were listening to a playlist and stuff.
We were kind of oh, that's her.
Yeah, we were oh, that's her. One of her
well
songs popped up. And we're oh, we'll listen to this, and it was great. So I just said, because she had just dropped a song. Mm-hmm. You're oh, we were listening to your song this morning, it was great. Just chatting away, trying to be nice, pay her a compliment. She just went, thanks. So do you want to take a selfie? And I was no. And I was no, I was actually just filming content with your friends, because it was literally the people she was standing with. We were actually just filming stuff together. I don't want a selfie, that's fine. And then she goes, so you don't want a selfie? Do you want a selfie or not? Let's just take a selfie together. And I was just the ego. It put me in an uncomfortable situation because I don't want to be no, I don't want a selfie with you.
Yeah, because you weren't being oh my god, I love your music. You were oh, well done about that, by the way.
Yeah, because she had just posted that morning oh, my song's just dropped, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I was shooting content with her friends at this event, and then just trying to make conversation because she was just standing there.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, hi, like, you're this person, like, congrats on your song. We actually listened to it this morning.
I feel like people might get this confused with someone who was in Love Island this year. This was a Love Islander from like
years ago.
Literally 2017 or 2018.
Maybe it was a bad day, or maybe she had just had a lot of people coming up to her and just asking her for photos.
Okay, realistically she didn't.
Yeah, that wasn't gonna happen. This is me just trying to like excuse that experience. Yeah. I met her again at the OhPolly event, and she was so rude.
Again.
I don't know how much I can say without getting other people into trouble. But basically, at this event, certain VIPs were invited to an after party. And I was there with one of the girls I managed, who was friends with all these invitees, and like was like, come along, we've got a table at this club, blah, blah, blah. And they're saying hi to everyone. There's all the VIPs that we had been with the whole night. Everyone's chatting that. We sit down at the table, and this Love Islander comes over, whispers something to someone, and basically tells them that she doesn't want us sitting in the same space that she is. So they told all these influencers with like hundreds and thousands of followers to leave.
So it wasn't like, to make this very clear, it wasn't like specifically just Emmy.
Oh yeah,
it was like a group of like people who have like
the top VIP invitees at OhPolly. These girls with hundreds of thousands of followers. There was girls at the event coming up and asking for selfies with them. They had met the owners. The owners were chatting to them, like thanking them for coming along to the event.
So it was like, again, it wasn't really the brand's fault whatsoever.
But this one Love Islander who was relevant like 6 years ago was just like, I don't know who these girls are. I don't want them sat in my space. And it wasn't even her space. It wasn't her event. And she literally looked all the girls up and down as they sat at this table and was like, nah, I want them to leave. And then they were like, okay, sorry, you'll have to leave. And it's like,
I really, really hate that whole thing of I'm more important than you. I think that's horrible.
Gives those vibes off. That's the second experience I've had.
Like, that's something I find with these events anyway, is it really kind of, I don't know, sometimes I'm like, oh, it's just a bit shit that like these are things that are all invite only. Like, it's just a bit like, oh, like, I don't know, I don't like the idea of anyone being...
Why do you think that you're better than anyone else that's here?
I hate it so
We've all been invited the same way.
Yeah, exactly.
But at a different PR event that we were at, that this girl also was at, the marketing staff and team were telling us that she has a very bad reputation for being like this in the industry. But it's ironic because the girls that come out of it with all the followers and collections and everything, they don't have those attitudes. You'd expect it to be, they come out with big egos, but they don't.
And it's been such a long time. You'd think that she'd like not really have that anymore. Recent events at the We Are Festival, I feel like I didn't really have any bad experience except from witnessing that one.
Yeah.
Oh, do I be really real?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's time to be real.
There's people that I have worked with in the past that for a long period of time that have straight up ignored me after I feel like I've done quite a lot for them. That's all I will say on that.
That's always an awkward situation though too, because it's like you don't know how they feel or you feel, and then if it's both like I don't even know.
It's just like
a shit situation.
There's maybe an elephant in the room that hasn't been addressed, to put it that way. But I wouldn't say I've really like encountered anyone who's been horrible. But see, the thing is, I feel like I was gonna say I do approach people and talk to them. But I feel like I kind of try and figure out their vibe before I approach them and speak to them.
Yeah, like you would sort of wait to see if that person is going to make the first move or not. Yeah. And if they completely blank you, then you're like, right, I'm not even going to
Because genuinely, I get quite like, I'm really scared of coming across like a fan.
Okay.
That I genuinely, like, I really hate the idea of coming across as like a fan.
Yeah, like you don't want to embarrass
myself.
yourself. But like, I don't have that fear. Though. Yeah, I'm the one that gets treated like a...
But I think that's the only reason that I don't have anything to say. Because I feel like there's people that... there's people I've seen out, like I was in a club in Manchester, that I was like, I'm dying to go and talk to them right now.
Yeah.
I've met them now anyway. But,
but like, I'm usually the one that will just walk up to anyone and everyone at an event and say hi.
Yeah.
Like, break the ice for everyone else.
Yeah.
Like, I remember at that festival, you and the girls were like, oh my god, that's so-and-so over there. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
I just walk up. But, like, half the time I already know the people.
Yeah, that's true.
And the other half, it's like we have mutual friends or know someone of someone there.
Yeah.
So, like, especially if I've had a drink, I have no worries going up and introducing myself. It's part of the job.
Yeah.
I sort of have to force myself to do it.
That's a good thing, though. I need to get over that pride that I have of not
but
wanting
then
to come
you
off as a
also
fan.
get into situations where you meet terrible influences, like my experience.
Yeah, that I just think that was like you were treated like a fan when you were just you were not acting like one.
But I don't think I've ever gone up to someone and be like, hey, can I get a selfie?
No, neither. That's my worst nightmare.
Well, I saw at the OhPolly event a group of girls go up to Sam and Zara. Sam Thompson from Made in Chelsea and Zara McDermott from Love Island. And asked them to take the Be Real. And Sam was like, yeah, sure. And he was like trying to work it out, thinking it was like a group selfie. And then Zara was like, oh my god, I'll just do it because I know how to. She obviously has Be Real and knows how to use it. And they were getting in and taking their photos.
Honestly, they weren't there for long, but they gave very good vibes.
Oh yeah, they were. I didn't even realise that they were standing right next to me. I thought Sam was like an employee working there.
He was quite small.
He is small. The way he was dressed, he looked like security or staff.
Yeah, he had like a black coat on.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, like I thought it was someone going behind the bar, but no, they were standing right next to me. They were waiting patiently, like everyone else, because I did hear a couple people be like, do you not know who the fuck I am? Like, why am I waiting so long here?
Okay.
And there was a few of those, but they were just there, and then people coming up, oh my god, like, can you guys take my Be Real, get in that with me? Yeah. And they were so excited and happy and just like, of course we would, like,
they
lovely.
gave good vibes.
They gave great vibes. But no, Sam and Zara, great vibes.
Yeah, they did give very good vibes. Zara is gorgeous.
Stunning. She was barely wearing any makeup, I swear.
Yeah, I know. She just looked so naturally pretty.
Yeah.
Like carved from the gods. Like her face was just like, wow.
Oh yeah, absolutely stunning.
And Sam was just like
funny.
Just so excited.
So we've pretty much just been busy in away at events and in the realm of influencer life. Like that's kind of a vague experience and idea of what events are like, and also a bit of tea on some influencers, but
yeah, without exposing too much, without getting in trouble.
Yeah, but I think I'm going to make a whole influencer encounter series on my TikTok.
Really?
And I don't care about name dropping.
See, I kind of am scared to.
I'm not.
What was your highlight of the whole week?
The highlight of the whole week was meeting people that I have been speaking to over emails for a long time, and like finally putting faces to names and like building the relationships, but also catching up with everyone at events, because like you said earlier, there was so many people at these events that you know, and it's sort of like a time where you get to see everyone at one place. You don't really get to see everyone on a regular basis. So I got to see old talent I managed, friends from old events, I haven't seen in like 4 years because of lockdown and stuff.
Yeah.
So that was probably my highlight, was actually just being around these nice people and friends and catching up.
Yeah.
What was yours?
Probably meeting people that I have watched on YouTube since I was 12. So like that, I wasn't scared to be a fangirl. I don't think I came off as one.
No, you didn't.
I actually was like, I was starstruck.
I was trying to make sure like anytime you were near me, I was being like, oh, have you met my friend Eva?
Yeah. But do you not think I was really quiet?
Yeah.
I was starstruck.
You were literally just sat there, I'm like, oh, this is my friend Eva.
Hi.
Like the one I do the podcast with. This was quite a bit more of a chill, chatty episode, but we have a fun one coming next, and we have guests coming very, very soon. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, guys. If you haven't already, make sure that you rate the podcast. Give us 5 stars.
And make sure you follow us on Instagram at Talent Managers Podcast, because we always ask you for any questions or like ideas for guests and things like that. So make sure that you follow us on there. Hopefully we'll start recording these soon. Video recording. Yeah.
All right. See you guys.
Bye.